Okay, here's the product that I use, you all. This is one of the best on the market, and I'm not getting paid to say that, but this is one of the best products on the market to tan your skin. Good morning, everyone. Hope you're having a great morning. Here in the state of Virginia, it's Thursday morning. It's 25 degrees outside. The sun is coming up, thank God. We're going to get a little break from that. Current temperature inside the shop, it just got up to 40. It was about 30 degrees in here when I come down here and started the fire in the shop. What am I doing today, you guys, is I'm going to show you. You saw me kill that deer there the other day on one of my videos. I've got the skin here. Now, I'm not going to make buckskin out of this, you all, but I'm going to make tanned rawhide. What is tanned rawhide? Well, rawhide, just plain old rawhide, has not had a tannin solution, excuse me, a tannin solution put on it, okay? But if you will put a tanning solution on that piece of rawhide before it gets completely turned into that stiff board that I know you people that's tried to make this stuff know what that feels like. If you will put a tannin solution on it and let that soak in, you'll have a better looking and a better quality rawhide instead of that stuff that you can see through. I hope you all can see this under the light right here. See what that looks like? Now, I put the tannin solution on it a couple of days and I rolled it up, and I did use the red bottle tannin solution, you guys, and you've seen me do that before. But I found over the years that if you want to make knife sheaths, belts, and high quality, very strong rawhide, you want to put a tannin solution on that rawhide, and it's not really tanned, but what it does, it makes it a better quality, okay? So I'm going to set the camera up over there at a different angle, and I'm going to just show you the simple process that I go through to make this into, a workable piece of skin that we can make knife sheaths out of. You can make really good heavy soled moccasins out of this particular material if you'll do it the way that I show you how to do it, okay? Now, you all have seen me make buckskin before, and you've seen me use these pieces of wood where I've got it rounded off on the top, and that's the same process we're going to go through right here, just not to create buckskin, but just to simply make a better quality rawhide. And of course, when you're doing this, one of the reasons that I don't tan skins for people when they ask me to do it is because this is a lot of work, people. So this is exactly the way that the Indians did it. They used some type of tanning, whether they was using oil, an oil tan, or whatever else tan, okay? But when you do this right here, you can see that you're breaking the fibers, okay, on the back side of that skin. And then it's going to turn like a tawny white. So you simply are going to do that all over the skin. Now, I know that people who have tried to make buckskin have been very displeased with the way their skin turned out. In other words, it was still crackly after they said that they had tanned it. Well, the reason that it does that is because their tannin solution did not penetrate the skin. Now, I did not take the grain off of this skin right here, okay? And that's one of the things that you really got to do to make a good, soft buck skin. So let me work on this here for a little while. Then I'll show you what it's going to look like. But this stuff right here really is a tough material. But if you just leave it out there like you've seen me do, because I've learned this over time, you all, you stretch it out there and you let it turn into rawhide. Well, it's simply just a piece of literally raw skin that's dried, okay? Raw, dried skin, that's what rawhide is. So let me get on with this process and I'll take you along for the ride and we'll talk some more about it. See how that piece of skin is turning white right there? There's what a good piece of tanned rawhide should look like. Like I say, this, you all, is work. Look how pretty and tawny that looks once you pull it across that stick. It's actually the same process you go through to make your buckskin, only we ain't making buckskin. I want some good tough leather to make knife sheaths, tomahawk sheaths, and good tough moccasins. Okay. I think you folks can get the picture right there. Make sure that you concentrate on your edges because the edges are going to give up the moisture, you guys, faster. See that? I definitely don't like to waste the hide on a deer or anything else as far as that concerned, because it just is too useful, you guys. Watch this. That right there still got a little bit more moisture in it than the rest of it has. That's what you're looking for right there. Now you got a piece of rawhide that it's just better quality. Now you all, once you get tired of that process right there, just take you a little stick, round it off on the top, and just start going around your skin just like this right here. Especially those edges. And pull those edges out because they're drying out very quickly. Now you can imagine, you grew up on the frontier, you grew up as a little Indian somewhere, anywhere in the world, before the manufacture of textiles. You'd be using skins of just about any animal on the earth to put on your hind end to keep it from freezing to death in the wintertime and keep the sun off of it. Because that's what it was. So tanning, remember Paul, Brother Paul, was one Simon a tanner. That's what he was. That's what his job was. So it's just one of the things that I like to throw in there, you all. But this is just a process that the women, poor women in the Indian women had to do year round. Every time that man come home and had a skin, that skin had to be tanned. Well, a man wasn't going to do it. The poor old women had to do it. Honey, you got my hide tanned yet? Getting a little bit cold. A breechcloth wore out. But it really does, you all, it does really make a nice quality piece of rawhide, okay? Now you all, if your hide gets too dry, this right here is going to be literally almost impossible. So you got to catch your skin right at the right time to do what I'm doing right here, okay? Done too many of them in my last 50 years. I've learned a lot of things. I've made a lot of mistakes doing it. But if you don't never do it, you won't never learn nothing. See? One thing about doing it this way too, you all, is this will take a dye really, really good. I was going to use a commercial dye on this skin right here, but when I get ready to make a product out of it, I'm just going to use walnut, okay? Just walnut hulls to give it the color that I want. So, when you think about the mountain men, if they were making their own product, they would do this, you all. But mountain men that were just trappers, they weren't tanning them skins. They were fleshing them and packing them to send to the tannery. Because tanning and making it into a usable product is just hard work, period. I think I'm gonna have to break out the coffee here in a minute. What I like about this stuff, you all, is you can, when you get ready to make your product, whether it's moccasins or sheath or whatever, you can moisten this stuff and it will just work a whole lot better, especially for the sewing process. Because native peoples, to begin with, didn't have metal. Didn't have no metal to do this with. They had bone tools. So they done a lot of that stitching and sewing that you see done with that material moist, like this right here. See, this part of it is part of the neck, and it's thick and it's still moist. See, when you're out there in the woods and you're living out there and that's what you're gonna do, and you're gonna use that animal skin or whatever, you have to tan the skin so the bugs won't eat it. because bugs will eat just regular old rawhide that hasn't been tanned, you all. You don't put something on it to keep them off of it. The bugs will eat it, okay? I don't care where you live. I don't care if you live down south, you live up north somewhere. When bug season comes, them bugs will get on a skin that has not been properly prepared. Now you all, there's the inside of the skin. See, the skin is pretty well soft, but this is not buckskin, you all, okay? You hear the crackle sound? So one of the ways that you want to finish your buckskin, you all, or your rawhide, is go on the inside of your skin, the flesh side of your skin. Take you some sandpaper. Here I'm just using 80 grit sandpaper, and just don't try to sand a hole through it. Just finish it on the inside. That'll open up them fibers just a little bit. But we're not going to do this to the grain side of it. In other words, the hair side. We'll just take a piece of sandpaper. And you know, if you've got some dirt or stuff on it, I don't know how you de-haired it. You saw me de-hair this one in July, okay? That's how I done it. If you use plain old wood ashes, the inside of that skin is gonna be dirty. So you don't want your skin to be dirty on the inside. So just take a piece of sandpaper, like this piece of 80 grit sandpaper here, and just go over the inside of it just a little bit. Believe it or not, skins, even like moose skins, elk skins, thicker skins, depending on the item that they were going to make out of it, they were shaved down. Believe it or not, they were shaved down thinner so that they would work for whatever item they were trying to make out of it. Now, when you buy a belt, you ain't getting the thickness of, let's say, the cow leather. You're getting a shaved piece of leather most of the time. That stuff is so thick that they put it through a machine that actually slices that piece of leather with the grain. You just get a piece of skin that's been sliced off. In other words, it's not the full thickness. See that right there? Now there's parts of it there, you all, that's still damp, and that won't come out or won't turn white until you work it while it's drying out. But that right there, I'm well pleased with that right there, you all. That right there is a good piece of tanned rawhide. Now, the Indians, lots of times they would take animal grease, whatever grease they had, and they would grease tan it after that. They would put that oil in that skin, and it would make it a little bit more supple, so that it was more useful for what they were going to use it for. Now, if I do that, and I've done this to skins before, especially some that just didn't turn out tanned like I wanted them to, in other words. I've made some big old boo-boos on some skins. So what I do with them is if it just continues to just turn out rigid on me, you know, crackly, I will take that skin and I will take neat's foot oil and warm water, just enough to coat that skin. and let that neat's foot oil and warm water go through that skin and squeeze it through the skin, and I will oil tan it that way, because that's one of the things that they did. It's called oil tanning. But they had to do what they had to do to get the job done. Anyway, you all, I hope you learned something from this video. That's the reason I do these things. I've been doing this stuff for years, so I've got some experience in how to recover from the mistake that you make when this wouldn't turn into buckskin no matter how many times you tanned it, okay? So with this one right here, I didn't try to turn it into buckskin. I want good quality rawhide. So that's what we got. God bless you all. Thank you so much for watching. Have yourself a wonderful day.